Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my own story from butcher to a vegan advocate. For me, it's about nutrition, it's about the ethics, it's about the spirituality, it's about the environment. So when someone says to me, why are you vegan? I say for everything. And when you can nail down every reason, you build a really solid foundation as to why you should do this and why you will thrive doing it as well. All the way through my early teens to my early 20s, I battled with a lot of mental illness, severe depression, severe social anxiety, and I was diagnosed with ADHD as well. A huge part of my mental illness, I think, came from being immersed in a really toxic industry. I was a butcher, so I was on the front line of basically what happened with animal coming onto the people's plates. It was a very toxic environment, and I think it perpetuated a lot of my mental illness. It takes a lot of awareness for someone to step back and kind of observe what they've been doing for so long and say, maybe this is wrong. Leg of lamb. There's a disconnect somewhere here, right? With most people, what they see here is not what they see here. We had thousands of animals come through, and because they were already processed to some extent, I just looked at it as food at the time. I didn't make the connection. And what I noticed with like slaughterhouses and butcheries is it's like a chicken or the egg thing. Do these places attract aggressive, mentally unstable people, or do they make them? And there's all kinds of weird, wonderful tricks that butcheries use to kind of make as much money from the consumer as possible. So they'll run old cuts of meat through the grinder and mix it with the new stuff for ground beef to kind of mask the old stuff. What type of energy do you want to put in your body? That's my question to people. Do you want to put in stuff that's alive, that's living, that's vibrant, or do you want to put in stuff that's decaying and dead and toxic and acidic? It's really important for your own health, and for the health of your family to get really clued up on the nutrition aspect of a vegan diet as well. So the dark side of butchery, it was like addiction, abuse, mental illness, violence, and poor hygiene. We would drop meat on the floor and we'd be walking on it with muddy gumboots and stuff and pick it back up and just put it on these trays. Drinking all the time in the butchery, after work, like excessively. There was fights in the butchery. It just went under the rug. This type of thing happens in these trades where these people are on the forefront of violence. When you're seeing this every day and you're in a giant cooler every day with dead stuff, you really start to desensitize to emotions and what it means to be a conscious person. When people are thinking about their food choices, you've got to understand that you're paying someone to do this. I was in the butchery for about 6 years, from the age of maybe 16, 17 for 6 or 7 years. And I'm 31 now. So there's been a big time gap from when I left the butchery to now. And it's been an ongoing evolution. In order to have compassion for other beings and other people, you really have to nurture your own compassion too. Are you working on yourself? Are you compassionate towards yourself as much as you are towards animals and other people? I was thinking I was making conscious choices, but it was just programming. It was what my parents taught me. It was what their grandparents taught them. It was what society taught me. When you start looking at veganism and you start looking at compassion for animals, compassion for other people, the nutritional side of things, the environmental side of things, you start to wake up. I think part of it is like a transcendence. Like you really start to make the connection. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you contemplate beginning or you keep going. You have an opportunity right now for anyone who's not vegan to just make a decision and try. To get in the door and experience it, experiment. You just don't know what is out there till you go out there. I had to go from this place where I had to let go of everything I knew. It was like a shedding of the skin. Don't let one thing deter you because it doesn't resonate with you. Start with what resonates with you and go from there. If you want to feel better and you want to have more energy and you don't want to be tired all the time, a vegan diet, a plant-based vegan diet with some fun vegan stuff in it as well, is like honestly the way to go. Like that's what I found. My sleeping improved, my stomach issues went away, my energy went up, my strength in the gym went up. I actually gained more muscle mass in the gym as well. Food is amazing. It's so much more diverse and fun than I ever thought it could be. Now, one of the things I think for me, like going from a butcher to like in the fitness industry, but being taught everything about the old model, like the old food pyramid about animal proteins, you need this, you need that, amino acids, I started to realize is really funded by the same organization that profits from it. One of the challenges when you are considering a vegan diet or transitioning to veganism is just letting go. Like the art of letting go of like what people are going to think about you. You have to let go of the idea of needing to please them, of needing social approval from them. Because if you're always chasing approval, if you're worried you're going to upset your parents or your brother or sister or whatever, like you're never going to really move into the person you can be. And there's a way of making changes and being polite and constructive about it as well. When I see people who are vegan, I'm like, that person's strong. So for me, being a walking billboard, looking that way, it allows me to speak less because people see the results I've got and they're like, how do you do that? and it opens their mind up more. That's one of the tools that I use. As I say to people, become a walking billboard for this lifestyle. You don't have to be super in shape, but if you're bubbly and happy and vibrant and excited, and you're giving them fun things to go home and make, and you're showing them the fun foods, that is how you become a walking billboard. You get people excited about change. What I do is I present people the look, but then I nail it home with the ethics and the spirituality and the environmental stuff. They may not even know they need help until you help them. I got out of the hole and I looked back where I was and I was like, damn, that was a shit place to be in. When you have a purpose higher than yourself, you can transcend obstacles because you understand that it's not just about yourself. One of the things that I say to everyone, especially people that want to go vegan and they're kind of being beat down, I'm like, be the kind of vegan you would have wanted to meet before you became vegan. I can tell you now, like when you start acting into the type of person that you would have wanted to meet before you became vegan, you will change a lot of lives.